In the midst of the 18th century, a man emerged from the American colonies who would become a pivotal figure in world history. In the heart of colonial Virginia, on a cold February morning in 1732, a boy named George Washington was born. The world into which George arrived was a tapestry of sprawling tobacco fields and dense forests, a land far removed from the bustling cities of Europe. His family, though well-to-do, lived modestly compared to the grandeur of London or Paris. George's father, Augustine Washington, and his mother, Mary Ball Washington, were well-respected members of their community, and their son was destined for a life that would extend beyond the confines of their plantation. As a child, George was tall for his age, with a strong, determined demeanor. He grew up at Ferry Farm, a place where he learned the value of hard work and developed a love for the outdoors. His formal education was limited, with his mother providing much of his early instruction, but he excelled in subjects like mathematics, which later proved invaluable in his career as a surveyor. At the age of 16, George began working as a surveyor, mapping the vast wilderness of Virginia's frontier. This job took him deep into the untamed wilderness, where he navigated through dense forests and crossed treacherous rivers. His experiences in the wild forged his leadership skills and instilled in him a deep respect for the land and its potential. By the age of 20, George's sense of duty led him to the military. The French and Indian War was raging, and the young man from Virginia took up arms in the colonial militia. His service was marked by both triumphs and trials, including a notable defeat at Fort Necessity. Yet, through it all, Washington's courage and leadership shone brightly, earning him a reputation as a formidable leader. After the war, Washington returned to civilian life and married Martha Custis, a wealthy widow. The couple settled at Mount Vernon, a grand estate that would become a symbol of Washington's growing influence. Washington managed the estate with great skill, cultivating the land and ensuring the prosperity of his household. As tensions between the American colonies and the British Crown escalated, Washington's sense of duty called him back into public service. The American Revolution erupted in 1775, and Washington was appointed Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. His leadership during this tumultuous period was nothing short of extraordinary. Facing a poorly equipped and often demoralized army, Washington demonstrated remarkable resilience and strategic acumen. One of the most celebrated moments of his military career came on a bitterly cold night in December 1776. Washington, understanding the desperate need for a victory, led his troops across the icy Delaware River in a daring and risky maneuver. The surprise attack on the Hessian forces in Trenton was a stunning success and revitalized the American cause. The war continued with many more battles and hardships, but Washington's steadfast leadership saw the Continental Army through to victory. The surrender of British General Cornwallis at Yorktown in 1781 marked the end of the conflict and the birth of a new nation. With the war won, Washington retired to Mount Vernon, only to be called back to public service once again. The Articles of Confederation, the first framework for the United States government, proved inadequate. In 1787, Washington presided over the Constitutional Convention, guiding the delegates towards the creation of the U.S. Constitution. In 1789, Washington was unanimously elected as the first president of the United States. His presidency was a time of foundational importance. He set many precedents, including the creation of the presidential cabinet and the two-term limit. Washington's leadership helped stabilize the young nation, navigating foreign relations and establishing a national bank. Washington's voluntary decision to step down after 2 terms in office was a powerful statement of democratic values. His farewell address cautioned against political factions and foreign alliances, advice that has echoed throughout American history. After his presidency, Washington returned to Mount Vernon to enjoy a peaceful retirement. He continued to manage his estate and remained a revered figure in American life until his death on December 14, 1799. The impact of Washington's death was profound. It led to an outpouring of grief and a deep sense of national loss. In the years that followed, Washington's legacy continued to grow, and his contributions to the founding of the United States were celebrated and enshrined in the country's collective memory. In death, as in life, George Washington remained a towering figure, a man whose character and leadership had set the course for a new nation and whose influence would endure for generations to come.